What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. All my culture comrades, today we have a special show for you today. I said today twice there. I don't know if you got that. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And that goes for single moms as well that have to play the role of, both parents, dog parents. It goes for any dad figure out there. Truly wish you a special day. Today, I brought in saggy melons. Because I wanted to do two things. So first off, obviously, Saggy and I are doing Springfield Comic-Con next month. I did want to kind of like talk about that a little bit before we get into the real reason I brought her, because she's very passionate about Ezra Miller's situation, and so am I. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Other people will be joining, but before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button, share the show across social media, and subscribe for more content like this. Become a member for early access to interviews and stuff like specials, like the Comic-Con will be, because we'll be definitely be recording all of that, right, Saggy?
Yes, we will be.
Yeah, so we'll be there July 23rd. It opens at 10. And we'll be there from 10 to 4, and we'll be doing like a little meetup. We'll be interviewing. I have already a bunch of actors that are already committed to it, to coming on virtually. So we'll be doing that. I'm not going to say who, but it's going to be really.
It's Ezra Miller.
Yeah, it's Ezra Miller, and he's good. The first appearance of Ezra Miller will be at Springfield Comic-Con, and he'll tell their side of the story. No, that won't be happening. Well, maybe, I don't know, truly. But anyway, so why do you feel so passionately about this?
So, like, back in the day, and this goes back to my before YouTube days, I was part of a movement online that was against a voice actor who was accused of similar accusations. And there was no proof, but that actor unfortunately lost their job, lost all of their convention appearances. Basically, their entire legacy that they have built was just destroyed and gone. Till this day, I mean, they still have a lot of support from fans, thank God. But as far as their work as an actor, like they worked for Funimation. They even had a role on Rooster Teeth's Ruby TV show on YouTube. They had a lot of really good roles, and because of the accusations, that was done. And then I realized at that time, like maybe during the middle of it, the whole argument on the other side was like, well, we just want due process. We want evidence, because now this person's life is gone and there's nothing to go off of other than what people are saying. And I saw the consequences of what cancel culture being an SJW really meant. So when it comes to this situation, there's so many similarities, but now I'm seeing it through the eyes of the people from back in the day that were saying the same thing, like we need evidence, we need proof. And that's why I feel passionate about it, because I've seen too many people, and we have seen too many people, actors and celebrities, ruined based on false accusations. And there are some very disingenuous people in this world that would lie to get to get their 15 minutes of fame or try to exploit somebody.
Of course. And I'm not saying that, because the thing about this whole situation is it breaks down to this. Ezra is guilty of being arrested in Hawaii multiple times. He is guilty of that. All right.
Correct.
But, like, the guilt is,
and they pled guilty. They pled guilty, and they paid a fine, and they chopped it up as disorderly conduct.
Guilty, right?
Right.
We don't know if they're guilty of the choking incident, because we still don't really know what happened there. So it could go either way, right?
Right. Correct.
We know that Ezra is guilty of having meltdowns on the set of The Flash. Guilty in a loose. I use that term.
We
I use that term loosely, right?
well, we
Um,
don't know
Ezra,
if that's true though, Ty,
it is
because we
true.
don't.
It's been confirmed
Well,
from
well,
multiple people. Confirmed. You're right, though. I didn't see it with my own eyes, therefore I can't say it's true. You're
right,
right. I can't. But we know that Ezra is guilty of being a very emotional person, right?
correct.
Very, very emotional person. Now, I'm not saying that throughout all of this stuff that's been accused, is the timing coincidental? Yes. Is it most likely a mix of both stories because parents like to overreact when it comes to their children? Yes. Right? Yes. However, an innocent person would not run and stay hidden unless the mental illness is really setting in the sense of maybe Ezra doesn't know the severity and they just want to stay away because they don't know what else to do. That could definitely be the case. But also it's not making it look better that the taunts on Instagram, um, the the brandishing a gun with the Massachusetts family, whether that's obviously an accusation, but an innocent person would want to clear their name and make sure that the world knew. It seems that Ezra is running from the situation, which is very palpable in the sense that uh, now they look guilty, right?
So not necessarily
Public
because the
perception is gonna kill him. Kill.
right.
God, I'm getting so used to this. Public perception is what's gonna ruin this.
Right. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, the issue is, Ty, that the headlines are making it sound worse than it is. Now, they're saying that Ezra's running. Number one, it's a summons to go to court. It's not a warrant. If it was a warrant for their arrest, that'd be a whole different story. They'd have to turn themselves in. That would be them running if they didn't turn themselves in. This is a summons. A summons is serving you for a court date. It's a court. They're not being criminally charged at this moment. It's a summons. So what happens is what people don't understand how summons works. I've had to express this many times and people clearly just don't listen or they just choose not to. Now, when you are served to go to court, you have a certain amount of days before before you are supposed to sign that paperwork. An officer is supposed to hand it to you basically to confirm yes, the person who is being served got the paperwork, yes, they signed it. All that means is that Ezra is agreeing that yes, I understand that I'm being taken to court, and
Yes.
them signing it is them
I've been
confirming, yes, I
served.
got it. Right. So, it's you saying, yes,
Yeah.
I know I'm being served, and yes, I'm going to show up to court. Now, if Ezra does not sign that paperwork, what happens is they default, they waive their rights to defend themselves on this specific topic. So if they wanted to go back to that, it's closed. They didn't sign it. They already waived their rights to defend themselves. And then in a case, they can issue a bench warrant for their arrest. Completely
Yes.
different. Now, Ezra's not hiding. Ezra, if people don't know, because I've had to actually research this, Ezra's always traveling. Ezra is never at their listed home address. They are always traveling. They went to Hawaii. They travel all the time. So they're not home. And the summons goes to your last known whereabouts, which would be Ezra's address. So if Ezra's not home and Ezra knows they're getting served, but they're not home, they have time to respond. My theory, though, is that number one, they're being told to stay silent by their legal team and by the production company. They're like, stay silent, don't say nothing. The legal team, in my opinion, and this is just again my theory on it, the legal team is probably trying to plead with the parents, trying to get this dropped before it goes to court. And then if the parents are adamant, nope, we still want to push forward, we still want to take it to court, then Ezra now has to sign the documents and go to court. So again, Ezra's not running. Ezra's buying their time to have their legal team figure out how to handle this situation. They're not running, but the headlines say running because they're spinning it to make it sound like Ezra needs to turn themselves in. Like,
I'm
no.
guilty of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
you know what I
summons,
mean?
guys.
Yeah. But you do need to eventually somehow accept that summons, because if not,
You
they will issue a bench warrant, and that doesn't look good. Once a warrant's issued, then the media is gonna run with it,
right, but
right?
that's what I'm saying is that when somebody like Nick, I see in the chat, you say they still need to. They only need to if they want to defend themselves. They don't have to, but if they don't, they waive their rights to defend it. They waive their rights to defend it down the line. But again, I guarantee you that they're waiting for the legal team to try to sort this out so it doesn't go to court. And if the parents still want to push forward, then yes, Ezra is going to need to accept the summons and take it to court to defend themselves. You are right.
I just think it's gotten out of control. The whole thing has gotten
I
out of
agree.
control in the sense of, I don't think that I think the allegations, right? Because of course we need to preserve the right for a fair proceeding whenever that happens.
Correct.
Public reception, of course, is one thing, but we can't let that spill over into like a fair trial or a fair. I don't know how the tribal court is, but I assume it's fair in that sense. We need to be able to preserve that, but I think that the it's going to be hard for people to understand because of the charges. They are pretty severe.
But they're not charges; they're accusations. The court order is a protection order. It's
the
not
charge, the allegations. That's what I meant. I missed. Wrong word. The
I'm also reading the chat
allegations.
too.
The allegations are very severe, and we see every single day, like cult leaders, people getting people to do things. Just the absolute epidemic of mental illness in this country. We see it every day on the TV, with the mass shootings and other things. And I feel like it's hard for people to feel sympathy anymore for someone, and that's not the way. That's not the right way to go about it. Maybe Ezra needs like help. Maybe he needs a little bit of help, but but he, maybe they feel scared about admitting that because society looks at those kind of situations like almost looking down at that kind of stuff. So the environment doesn't help for sure.
Well, I was just gonna say, this is just my speculation on all the stuff that I've seen, the people I've talked to. It seems like Ezra has good intentions, especially with this situation. Like a lot of people don't know the family dynamic between the person that they're claiming Ezra groomed. I've heard stories, and even the person Gibson themselves made a video saying, "Hey, listen, I'm fine. I disappointed my parents. Like there is nothing going on here. I can't believe they did this." And then and I've heard from different people, multiple people, the same story, that the issue was that Gibson, who is Takada, who is now Gibson, they were not doing well at home with their identity. There was claims that they were in a very toxic, abusive environment at home. They reached out to Ezra about this concern. Ezra kind of swooped in and was like, okay, I understand if you're having a gender issue. I'm sure Ezra went through their own struggles, kind of empathized with that, especially since I heard, Ezra has had abuse in the past. Could probably empathize with that young person going through this. It was like, I want to help you. And then when they helped Takada's now 18, I don't think the parents were okay with that. Now, again, there is an account that came out and took responsibility for spreading the rumor or the accusation that messaged Takada's father and said, "Hey, Ezra's grooming your kid, and there's some grooming allegations and stuff." And then the father took that to say, "Oh yeah, Ezra probably did it." So again, there's a lot of elements we don't know. It's kind of like I said at this point, a he said she said situation, where on one hand you have a person who is the one that people are saying Ezra groomed, saying, "Hey, I wasn't groomed. My household life was not okay. I'm going through some things. My family has not been supportive." They reached out to Ezra, who is a family friend. Ezra came to help them, and now they're being accused of these awful things. So, I mean, that's the problem I'm seeing with this whole controversy, is that you have people ignoring the alleged victim and what the victim's saying, and then claiming that they're being forced to say it, then you have a lot of people who are close to Ezra and have known Ezra saying that's not what's going on. Their relationship's platonic. Ezra hasn't done any harm to this person. Ezra's been taking care of this person. That person went with them to Hawaii. I've seen people mention that Ezra's whole goal with taking Takata out of that situation was to travel with Ezra and get away from that. And what now is happening is Ezra's trying to help Takata, get the help they need and get on their own feet so they don't have to be forced to go back home to what they say is not a healthy environment. So again, that's what people aren't trying to understand. It's just, well, you hear grooming and then people are just like, oh, Ezra did it because Ezra's weird and Ezra was fighting in Hawaii. But I'm like, but fighting people in Hawaii and getting into fights in bars is not the same as the accusation of grooming. No one is saying that Ezra abused the person that they are allegedly grooming. So where is that whole thing playing together? It's just very weird all over the place. It really is a weird story, but I don't think Ezra is guilty. I don't.
Okay. Regardless of all of it, right? I actually like who said that. Regardless of all of it, will Ezra still be employed at WB? I guess the answer is leaning more towards no. Looks like they might go the Johnny Depp route and, not really care about what the verdicts eventually are. And they're just going to kind of, clean house. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's too soon, or is it Warner Brothers trying to save face? Because I mean, this was definitely Zaslav's first, direct involvement in a scenario like this. So, do you think it was handled well, or do you think it's being handled well, or should Warner Brothers be looking to maybe help instead of hurt?
Well, we know Zaslav doesn't play games. That's number one. Zaslav is not going to allow anything to tarnish DC because he sees DC as the main money maker for Warner Brothers. I kind of feel like all this is just from a business perspective. This is the reason why they're taking the position they're taking, not necessarily whether or not Ezra is guilty or innocent.
Well,
it's just the publicity itself is so negative, and it seems like it's been constant. It seems like Ezra's been in the news for something negative for a long, long time. And while I agree completely with Saggy about all of it, I think that it's just from a business perspective, Warner Brothers is doing their thing. So
I think it's wrong. Here's the thing.
I agree. I think it's wrong, but it's just a business thing on their.
Ezra is not just the Flash. People forget that. Ezra is also Credence in arguably, right? Because if we got to look at it at a business level, the top three, I'm not going to order them because it's arguable depending on who's saying it, but the three largest properties Warner Brothers has: Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and the DC brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra happens to be in two of them. So this
Sid.
is not just a blow to one IP, but it's a blow to two IPs if the trigger's pulled.
But luckily for that other IP, that trilogy of movies just got wrapped up and they promoted that film without him. Because I know people on Twitter are like, how do you promote this film without Ezra Miller? It's very simple. You just do it like they did with Fantastic Beasts. Do it without him. It's that simple. And if they ask, and the media, if they want to ask questions about Ezra, the representatives will be like, no, you can't ask those questions. And they just proceed to this.
My
when
thing
the movie's out. Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't know. I thought you were done. No, continue.
Oh, my bad. Just one last quick thing. When the movie comes out next year, if they want to recast him or they fire him, you just do it. I mean, a lot of other smaller social media outlets, news outlets have been hinting that sources have told them he's getting recasted. So, I mean,
he's getting recast, but if he gets recast, it won't be until the next movie.
Post Flash.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Once it released the Flash,
They're not
movie
gonna
out in theaters-
refilm. They're not gonna refilm this movie with another.
Right.
No.
That's what I
actor.
want to bring up too, because people think they're just gonna just no, they're not doing that. They wouldn't.
And
That's not logically sound to do. You know.
And we
Well, the thing that's annoying to me, sorry to cut across you, but I want to get this out before I forget. The thing that bothers me though, is that if it turns out that Ezra's innocent, now they're still punished for people lying about them and making
that's what I was.
false accusations. That's
I'm actually glad you said
bothers
that
me.
because mine was kind of going in that way as well. There could be a chance that even if Warner Brothers publicly parts ways with Ezra at this time and pulls like a James Gunn move with Marvel, lets it blow over. Because let's say nothing else happens from this moment on, aside from maybe a court case at the tribal court case, and it actually turns out that innocent, whatever, right? Let's just play that card. Then they could let the Flash come out, right? Let the Flash come out the way it is, and then it'd be another 2 years before we see him again or see Ezra again. So by that time, it's totally plausible, if innocent, this whole thing changes. But maybe they're trying to save face at the time, at this moment, and then behind the scenes there'll still be conversations. We don't know. We don't know how it will go.
The thing that's not even bothers me but scares me with this situation, that if it turns out that Ezra is innocent, which I feel they really are, especially with the grooming accusations, because we already know that they got arrested in Hawaii. We can't even speculate on that.
Yeah.
My thing is like with this grooming accusation, if it turns out that this is not true, Ezra gets fired from the franchise regardless. But what's gonna stop them from staying at a controversy? More people coming out trying to lie about them. That's the thing. It seems like there is this campaign that has been started against Ezra Miller for some reason, because after the first allegation of the grooming with Takada, another person had come out and said that they did something inappropriate to their 12-year-old daughter. And then that story has a bunch of holes in it. So it's sitting there like, how many people are just like going after Ezra, and for why? Like, what is the reason for all this?
And now there's the one with the Massachusetts family who is accusing
that's what
Ezra
I'm talking about.
brandishing a gun about a nationality conversation that went sideways. I don't. They felt threatened, but I don't think that Ezra threatened them. I just think that he alluded to it. But we saw how Ezra kind of talks, and you can kind of pull that Ku Klux Klan video where he's like alluding to threats, like that seems to be his. He just seems to be a very odd person, and
Ezra's
maybe other people just don't get him.
Ezra's very outspoken, and I would say the biggest thing that's I would like critique Ezra on is I feel like Ezra forgets the position they're in as far as being a celebrity, where they're acting like a normal person. I mean, they are a normal person, but when you're a celebrity, you can't invite too many people like normies into your circle, because they don't, even though you might be not acting like a celebrity and you're just acting like a normal person, that is not how the public perceives you. The public's going to perceive you as somebody who has a bunch of money and has fame, and they're going to try to latch onto Ezra, and Ezra being too open and too personal with people is what's really what I feel like is happening with Ezra with his downfall, is that they're being too normal with people and being too trusting with people. And this is why you see a lot of celebrities not wanting to get close to fans or get close to normal people, because there are too many disingenuous gold digging pieces of trash out there. And I think that that's what's happened, is Ezra tried to help somebody, and look at what they got for trying to help somebody is now they have an accusation of grooming, and they're in the media and people calling them a pedophile and all this other stuff. That's the thanks that Ezra gets for trying to be a person with other people,
I hate to say it, but you could say the same thing about Michael Jackson, even though he's not like, say, an actor, but he is an artist.
Oh, Michael Jackson was just Michael Jackson's childhood made Michael Jackson a weirdo. I mean, you can only beat records.
He may
out of
have been a
children for so
weirdo, but my
long.
point is that he was painted in a light to where people thought he was like this god or whatever, and that he could never be a human being. And when he does something that's normal, people think it's abnormal in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, actors have interesting lives, which I can tell from certain actors, like mentally, I would say being in the spotlight could do some mental things to you. That's why I say, like with Ezra, it does feel like Ezra is, trying to just be normal, not looked at as a celebrity. And when Ezra is trying to befriend normal people and be a normal person, you have people, like I said, like what we're seeing, saying, oh no, Ezra did this. Like the person who accused them of talking inappropriately to the 12-year-old. Somebody came out and tried to corroborate the story, saying, hey, yeah, no, she's telling the truth. She knows Ezra Miller, and posted a screenshot of a text message she had with the woman accusing Ezra. And all that text message said was the woman was like, oh, I went outside and Ezra Miller verbally abused me. And it's like, okay, so Ezra Miller yelled at you. So where did the accusation of the 12-year-old, what happened with your daughter? And I asked the person for proof of those images, and the person said, oh, well, I have to edit them first, and then they deactivated their Twitter account.
The moment you call someone stupid, it's verbal abuse.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so much that doesn't add up. Like the story with Takada, with well, Ezra met them when they were 12, but Ezra met the family, and the family was okay with Ezra being in their home, having meals, breaking bread with them for years. And then when they were 14, they allowed Takada to go to the UK with Ezra, with a chaperone. The chaperone claimed that Ezra tried to get in bed with the 14-year-old, but didn't tell that information until 4 years later. And then, like,
that makes no sense either.
Right. It makes no sense. So when everyone sit there like, well, they groomed him, it's like, but why would a chaperone who is sent to watch this 14-year-old not say something so serious like, hey, the grown adult climbed in bed with your 14-year-old daughter? Why wouldn't you say that day? I would have kicked Ezra out the room.
Well,
and
you
called
could
the
say
parents
the same
right away.
thing for the Michael Jackson people. It's almost like a starstruck thing, right? Like their parents like want the kid to get in good with the celebrity, and they kind of look the other way on some things that maybe they shouldn't. And you can, of course, guilt the parent.
Oh yeah.
You can. There's so many guilty parties. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm saying it has happened. Right?
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, Ty, 7 years Ezra knew this family. So
yeah.
Why are they coming out now? Right?
7
if they
years,
knew this whole time.
Right. 7 years this family knew them.
Some people say, oh, she did it, she was doing it behind their back. I was like, that's that, because I know about parents that think that their kids are up to something, because I was an addict. I was a drunk, and I was living with my parents years ago, like when it all first started. They thought I was up to, they thought I was shooting heroin and all that kind of stuff, and like they thought all my friends were the cause of it.
Yep.
That parents jump to conclusions.
Yes, they do.
I'm saying you got to sift through all the bullshit, and then what's left, no matter how improbable, must be the truth, right? So
my mom blamed my friends all the time for the crap that I pulled. So, and I would tell her, no, it's not them, it's me. I made that choice, not them.
Yeah, right. So, exactly.
Parents have a way of exaggerating the truth, but like I said, it's probably a mix of both stories. I'm sure that Ezra probably has given her drugs. I'm sure.
Possibly.
And alcohol. I'm sure. Because I know what I was like back there, at that age. At 18, 17, maybe not 12, but at 17, 18, if I was having a beer, I was having a beer, right? Like I didn't, no one was going to stop me. Not my parents, nobody. So
You and I definitely come from a different background.
Yeah.
And yeah, the drug accusations were interesting too, because somebody posted a picture
It's like
allegedly of Takada being
LSD.
overdosed. Like
It was
they
like
overdosed. So
right,
what?
right. But honestly, if my kid was 18, I would want them to try like mushrooms and LSD and like go on those really spiritual and like, because like when you take a psychedelic like that, the next day you know why the trees are there. Like you just you have a different respect for the earth. I encourage everybody to try it at least once and like go on that journey.
Mike
'Cause
Tyson does
it's a
it.
journey. Yeah, I would love to microdose if I could.
Yeah, there's
But
a lot of
but
stigmas around certain drugs for sure.
yeah, for sure. The drugs that are bad, by the way, are the ones that are created by scientists.
Synthetic.
So no, like yeah, Percocet. Those are the bad ones. Adderall. Those are the bad ones. But like mushrooms, woo! God,
Yeah, and
if you don't
heroin.
I've never done it, but
what?
my mom said if I ever decided to, she said she'll do it with me.
Yeah. Actually, heroin is I mean, heroin's a different one because it does come from the earth, but it has to be extracted and
Oh yeah,
changed
it's
into.
forgot the name of the plant,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It all comes from the poppy.
poppy. There you go.
Yeah, it all comes from the poppy. Percocet, all of that stuff comes from the poppy.
Even the
But-
cocoa plant, I think,
yeah.
for cocaine.
No, that's not true.
There is a plant though that gives you the cocaine though, and I can't remember the name of the plant. I thought it was that plant,
You guys
but
talking about crack? I love
No.
crack. That's what makes me do all these videos. You know, crack's a hell of a
But
drug.
yeah,
I'll tell you
no,
that.
that's the thing about like when people were saying, because Tokata made a video. I don't know if you guys seen it. I'm assuming everyone
I
has seen
did.
it.
Yeah.
But
not
everyone
me.
was speculating that Tokata was under the influence. And I'm like, no, they weren't. You could tell when somebody's under the influence because their eyes are usually red or pupils are very dilated. They usually could be sweating or, and they could not make coherent sentences. When I watched that video, that was the last thing I thought. I thought this is somebody who is kind of looks fatigued, looks stressed, looks nervous because they're having to address, and I'm assuming they're assuming that video was going to get a lot of views, and they were probably like, what the heck's going on? But I honestly feel like the big thing that I took out of that is they were being very careful of what they were saying to try to not say anything that could be twisted and make it look worse for them or Ezra. And I don't think that the person is in any harm. I've seen people on Instagram who know Ezra personally, has pictures of Takada as far as like recently. They look fine, they look happy, they look healthy. There's no red flags when I look at the pictures or videos of Takada. And it's just crazy because, like I said, everyone on the internet is now literally in your business saying
But
things that
sadly,
you know
pictures
aren't
can
true.
be deceiving.
Oh yeah, pictures can be deceiving, but I don't think that if Takada was really in any danger, because that's the whole thing about the grooming and everyone saying, "Oh, Ezra's a monster" and stuff. Is like, but is Takada in danger? Because it doesn't seem like Takada's in
I
any
don't
danger.
believe so, honestly. I don't believe so.
Hey,
Takada's living it up.
Sam Williams with the $1.99, $1.99 super chat. Support
Well,
this
there you
channel,
go.
y'all. Thank you so much. And then Brian from my other show helping support.
There you go.
$5. And then ex Witchy Mama. I love that name.
That's
love
my
that fucking
girl.
name.
That's my homie.
Cocoa is any of the 4 cultivated plants in the family. Native to Western South America. Cocoa is known worldwide for its psychoactive alkaloid. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I had it backwards. Someone was asking me whether chocolate came from the cocoa, the cocoa plant. I'm sorry, I mixed it up. So cocaine, yes, is derived from the cocoa, but someone thought chocolate came from it too, cocoa. And I was like, no. So I mixed them up.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
What? We've been
So-
eating cocaine this whole time? Holy shit.
yeah. No. No, but yeah, thank you guys. You know, a quick $20. And
Well,
like,
cocaine used to be an active ingredient in
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola back in
Yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was an added stimulant to the drink, right? Because of the caffeine. Like they wanted you to Coke was supposed to be refreshing and it was supposed to give you energy, right? Like
yes, it was
that's how they
supposed to have a
marketed.
leg up
Yeah.
on Pepsi. So
Yes,
there
a
you
leg
go.
up on Pepsi. Yeah, exactly.
I think someone
Uh,
Put the
earlier.
cocaine back in Coke, damn it. We all need
Guys,
to friggin'
guys.
chill out.
Guys, I want to talk about something. And
No.
we'll of course we'll get back into the Ezra thing, but I do want to talk about something because and I'm sure you know, I know I got a couple here that are interested in this kind of stuff, but
No.
shut up. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Listen, I've been getting deep into the alien thing, and I've always been pretty deep into it, right? The question of are we alone in the universe?
Are you talking about the China thing?
Yes,
What
but
happened?
oh, what the, we'll get to it, Saggy.
Go for it.
We're about to a Chinese. So I watched this whole documentary the other night, and the next day on Twitter, I could pull it all up and show you the timeline, but just know that I'm telling the truth. I watched this. I watched this really crazy documentary, and it was just about all the evidence and yada yada yada. And then like it put me in this like trance state where when I was watching it, like I felt so connected to the documentary. And the next day, literally the next day, I tweeted and said, "We are not alone," like just something like that. And I was like, and it's coming. Like the announcement's coming. That's in conjunction with the congressional hearings. The next day after that, China reports that they may have had contact with aliens through radio waves at the normal university in China. Obviously, it could be something else. It could be interference from radio waves. There's no telling that even if aliens were to communicate, that we would even be able to communicate, because who knows if they use radio waves to like there could be so much. However, this is just something coming out of that satellite. It's the biggest satellite, the radio satellite there is,
Yep.
and its actual job is to scan for this kind of thing, right? There are so many organizations right now, like Star Academy or whatever it is, Star scientists, and some. There's a government group that a coalition between government people and private sector people that are looking in. They're the ones who released the 3 videos of the Tic Tac and the Commander Favor
Oh.
video. That's who released those.
I know who
with-
you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
Yeah, with government sanction. But dude, I'm just saying, what do you guys think? Like,
Didn't the next
could
day
they-
China deleted the tweet or something?
yeah, China
because they had
shut that shit
they
down.
shut it down, and then there was some sort of report that came out that did a comparison.
It was
that
on the Today Show.
One of our United States satellites had picked up something similar back in the 70s,
Yeah,
and they debunked it as their equipment was malfunctioning or something like that. So this was pretty interesting, though. I agree with you, Ty. I had very similar feelings when I read this, because I'd been thinking the same thing. Like, if there is some sort of other life out there, it's going to come to us eventually. So
the thing is, it's odd. It's already been here.
sure.
Right? It's already been here, and like I don't want to spend too much time on this, but
That could be a topic forever.
The proof is overwhelming. And the thing I don't like about the way that society goes about this is, first, they wanted proof. We gave them proof with the Commander Favor Tic Tac incident, right? Those were crafts that moved at unreasonable directional capabilities They didn't use any compulsion engine. There was no trail or exhaust coming from those things, and they literally could go up into the atmosphere and then back down into the ocean in like 3 seconds.
In zigzag.
No craft in the world that we are aware of has capabilities like it. The Fravor video shows a craft that starts off like this and goes over and then takes off and it's gone. And it goes crazy altitudes down. They're moving in ways that we aren't even. We're not even hundreds of years from that kind of technology. And the uptick in UFO sightings was right after we dropped atomic bombs on, like, the nuclear programs are what's bringing them here, because if we blow ourselves up, like, right, we have the capabilities of blowing ourselves up right now. 100%, right? They are taking notice, because if our world were to blow up, it would have ramifications throughout the universe, not just here.
Can you think about it this way though, Ty? If you were an alien race, a spacefaring alien race, highly intelligent, would you really want to deal with the divided stupidity of humankind,
especially if you could see
going on this planet right now? We can't even have peace among ourselves as a human race. That's the problem.
No, but that's people have always asked the question, why wouldn't aliens drop into the White House, have a conversation with the president?
Because we're idiots.
Because we're fucking idiots.
Exactly.
Right? They know that. That's why they go to random places and they give messages to people.
And give anal probes.
That is so false. That is so false. Most credible abductions say that they were not harmed in any way, and that they were, because we think that the DNA is the building blocks for life throughout the universe, not just here, but the universe. So aliens would have a humanoid-looking, skeleton. It's whether they're mixed with machines is a different story, etc., so on and so forth. But they look like us. It's called the diamond, right? The life diamond, the life triangle, I should say. And it's 5 points, right? 1 hand, 2 hands, a head, and 2 feet, right? That's the building block for what all extraterrestrial civilizations would, advanced would look like, right? Because they've evolved in different ways. We could stay on this all night. I don't want to. Again, I'm getting way too deep into this. But they've been here. They've made themselves known that they are at least watching us and making sure that we don't do anything that would drastically have ramifications throughout the universe. Blowing ourselves up. Yeah. Blowing ourselves up would throw our whole galaxy off orbit. That would have cataclysmic events throughout the universe. Cataclysmic. So they are here. And they're just looking into it. And then, maybe they grab a couple people, they bring them up, and they study the DNA because, again, our DNA is very similar. So they want to know about us because, we're most likely related to them in some form or fashion. Who knows? Then we bring in the multiverse theory, right? Maybe we are them.
Or maybe they're like time traveling versions of us from the far
Maybe there isn't life, maybe there isn't a lot of life in the universe, but maybe there's multiverse versions that can come through, and that's what we're mistaking for aliens. That could also be plausible, and we just don't know what it is yet. So anyway, we'll get off this topic. I would love to have you guys all on and have a real deep dive into it. But
That's a
'cause-
great
I was
topic.
about to ask, like, what kind of,
Dude, I am an
apocalyptic type of movie, Independence Day, or what was another one?
No,
Fire in the
because
sky.
Hollywood
Yeah.
has concocted aliens as a threat because it sells, right? Alien invasion, right? You automatically think
Like,
the
what's
world,
plausible?
yeah, the world's gonna end.
Well, think about what Steven Spielberg's sequel for ET was supposed to be.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
The ETs essentially invading the planet and probing children and doing all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy things.
Yeah. So
Propaganda.
if UFOs, UFOs, I do think have visited here. Going off that notion, they have not done anything. Think about it. They're probably scientists, right? They're probably the scientists. Because, like, if I was an alien race, I wouldn't send Joe Schmo, the alien number 3, to Earth. I would send a top scientist who knows what he's doing, probably accompanied with some sort of military personnel, or in their way of that. They come here, and then they observe, right? They observe, and or maybe bring test subjects up the way we would test on a monkey, right? I'm sure that Earth is one of many. There may be 300 million planets with what capabilities of what we have, like, that are in that Goldilocks zone, but Earth is unique, and it's so unique.
It
So
is.
It's
I
unique.
have a feeling-
It's unique unless you take into account the multiverse theory, which essentially means that there's infinitesimal versions of the Earth.
Of
that
Earth,
exist.
this
yeah.
Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
But where I was going with it is, I would say that Earth is probably on most alien civilizations' bucket lists of coming here, and, like, it's kind of not saying we're a theme park, but you know what I mean. Like, they want to come here
We kind
because
of are. That would
the-
kind
yeah.
of be funny to an alien race
yeah.
to see us. Like, we act like buffoons.
yeah.
So essentially, yeah, theme park is a great way of describing it.
But it's also they're kind of, maybe they were as simple as us at one point, like, in terms of, because I know we're not simple by any means, but maybe they were like us at one point, and they're coming back here to see, to maybe give us some clues, like, then we can start going into pyramids and stuff like that.
Well, that's why they
Why-
use Mars as a theory.
right.
That's where we came from.
Think about this, guys. This is the last thing I'll say, because this is going to take a while. Maybe, just maybe, Earth has
Mhm.
something to do. I don't know. It's a very convoluted theory. But what if aliens were here, or are here, to help us in evolutionary ways, right? If you think about it, if we had a book of the entire history of the Earth, for the first 80 pages out of 85, things were most very similar. Nothing crazy happened in terms of technological advancement. It's not till the last page in the last paragraph that the last 7,000 years happened. I'm not 7,000 years. The last 100 years happened, right? We have like 1,000,000% increased our technological capabilities in just the past 50 years alone, right? So why do you think they're here? Well, nothing was going on
We're
back then.
about to hit the singularity.
Right.
And when that happens, yeah, that's
They haven't had a
exponentially.
reason. They haven't had a reason to stick around. And yeah, maybe they helped with, like, the pyramids and stuff like that we can't explain, those things. And they just, nudged us in the right direction. But it all was to lead to this moment, right? To get us to this place, right? The advent of the cell phone, the advent of all that shit happened so quickly. The internet, so quickly. Everything just, one day it wasn't there, the next day it was. in terms of like the grand scheme of things. And
It's funny you
yeah,
say that right now, Ty, because looking at my phone right now, because this is what I'm using to do my streaming, of course, it's one of those realizations of like, when I was a kid, it would have been a full-on desktop and everything for me to be able to do this. But the fact that I'm doing it on a phone, a little miniature computer,
yeah,
wow.
it's blasphemous. It's sorcery. Like if we were to show this, if we could bring back someone from like the like the first people to walk the earth,
Year
like,
one.
yeah, year one
Neanderthals.
Neanderthals, right? If we were to bring them and just show them my studio, they would think I was a fucking sorcerer.
Yeah, well, we
Uh-huh.
could do that with like a tribal person isolated.
Yeah,
you know?
they would think I was a sorcerer with all the cameras and lights, and like they just would not, like I would look like things that we don't understand, we chalk it up to aliens, magic, right? Sorcery, all that stuff. Things that we don't understand, we label. We might be so far off. It could be interdimensional beings. It could be anything. And we're just labeling them as aliens. But that could also go for religion, right? It goes both ways, right? So we'll move on, guys. But I would love to have you back on for something like that because I get so passionate.
I want to have
talking
this
that stuff, so.
conversation because I want to have this conversation because I'm one of those people that believes we are currently living in a simulation. So I would really love to have this conversation.
Simulation theory is one of my favorite things to talk about.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yes.
I like to talk that.
Yes.
Simulation
Great
theory
stuff.
is one of my favorite things. I'm so down, Zob. Let's get something together.
Well,
actually,
when you and I do the stream, we'll do it. We'll theme it on simulation theory.
Could you do Wednesday night?
This let's see if I could do. Could I do
I
this
can.
Wednesday?
Okay.
I could probably. Let's see.
Because I'll just cancel my show for Wednesday. Actually, shit. Well, no. I can do her earlier.
I could do Wednesday night. I could do
okay, because
Wednesday night.
I'm having on the showrunner for Springfield Comic-Con, who's gonna help Saggy and I, pull some strings and get VIP access.
All right.
So I need to do that, but I can do her in the morning, and then we can do late night.
Yeah, I'll set it up for Wednesday, and we could talk
late
about
night Q&A.
We could talk about simulation theory. That'd be epic.
Late night simulation Q&A.
That'd be awesome. I love that topic so much. It's
oh my
perfect.
God, it's so and it leads so many places. But all right, guys. Next up, I did want to talk about Ms. Marvel or The Boys. It depends on you guys. Anyone here not seen The Boys?
I have not seen The Boys. I don't have Amazon Prime.
Okay, would you like my Amazon Prime so you can watch it?
I just had a friend give me their Amazon Prime. I just haven't gotten a chance to start
are you
watching
going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I saw that season 3 thing with the guy that exploded their boyfriend. I have to see it now.
Okay, so what if we talk about it?
Oh, I don't care.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't care. I'll probably forget about it anyways.
Okay. You will forget about it, I guarantee it. The only thing is, it's Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. So.
Oh my God! Can I just say real quick? Maybe because
you're perfect.
No, but here's the thing. Aren't you like thinking in your head after Supernatural ended, the first thing that Jensen did was like, I can finally grow out my beard.
Yeah. So funny. Yes, exactly.
I was like, thank God, he couldn't wait.
By the way, Saggy, you'll appreciate this. There was a cameo because not a cameo, an Easter egg, right? Eric Kripke, the creator of Supernatural, is the creator of The Boys, or the executive producer on it. Along with Seth Rogen. But Eric Kripke, also, Bobby Singer?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Jim Beaver. So Jim Beaver is also in The Boys, and his character's name is fucking Robert Singer, right? And it's been that way since season 1. So Bobby plays Bobby in The Boys.
That's hilarious.
Not the same Bobby, but his name is Robert Singer. And so Jensen is walking back into the city after, some events. And it's the first time he's been in the real world or the modern world in a long time. And a bus stop has Robert Singer, and it's the same character, like it's the guy who played Bobby, and it says Robert Singer running for mayor, and he stops and looks at it and gives you like, and then he gives this like smirk and then keeps moving, and it was the perfect fucking Supernatural Easter egg ever. Just because, like, Jensen Ackles addressing, because Jensen, for anyone who didn't watch Supernatural, Jim Beaver's character in Supernatural is named Bobby Singer, and he's like a dad to Jensen and Jared. So, like, for that to come full circle, like, I teared up a little bit.
Like uncle / dad, if anything, yeah.
But no, he's
well,
more
because he knew them as kids. That's why I say uncle.
Yeah, but they go on to say that Bobby was more of a father to them.
That is true. That is true.
Than their dad was. But that's not to say John was a bad dad. He raised the kids, and
the way he knew.
Again, getting off topic.
I know. It's easy to get off topic.
I know, it's so easy. But like, everyone's like, I don't care about Supernatural. But the boys, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. Now, here is something a lot of people don't know. Jensen Ackles was the front runner. Now, I say this with like 100% factual. I talked to Jeffrey Ford about it. Jensen Ackles was the front runner to play Captain America before Chris Evans. Chris Evans and Jensen Ackles were on the short list along with one or two other people, but Jensen Ackles turned the role down to continue working on Supernatural, right? That's when Robert Downey Jr. convinced Chris Evans to take the role. I am very glad at how it worked out because, I would have loved Jensen as Captain America. Here. But I also love that he got to finish Supernatural. And now Eric Kripke gave him the chance to kind of give us what would have been. It's like almost like a parallel. It's like, honestly, Soldier Boy is like Captain Hydra. Like, it's the comic run where America
totally.
Yeah, so that's who he is. And getting to see Jensen play this twisted version of Captain America is by far the greatest thing about the season. But also, Homelander doesn't give a fuck anymore. Homelander is on a warpath, finally. This show is so fucking good. It is so fucking good, guys. What do you think?
I love it.
Fantastic.
Which show are you talking about? Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding because I am not kidding.
The Boys.
I haven't watched it, so I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Hold on.
I haven't really seen much of.
Hold on. I asked the whole goddamn panel right before I brought this subject up. And I said, hey, gonna be talking about The Boys and Miss Marvel. Anyone not seen The Boys? The only one who answered was Saggy Melons. Did anyone else hear Charlie Rage say that he had not seen it? No one heard that because it didn't happen. And now...
sorry, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the girls?
I know of The Boys. I'm sorry. I will say that I do know of it. I'm just not too familiar with it, if anything. That's it.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue talking about it if that's okay.
No, go for it. I don't care if you spoil anything, honestly,
no,
if you guys do.
No! Spoilers are against my religion. I'm going to talk general.
Okay. I'm just saying I'm okay if you do.
Fuck this season. And the way that this season is rolling out it is a game changer. It's a game. Now, the boys always knew what it was into the genre. The genre, it's definitely a parody spoof of the superhero genre, but it also has a very dark, sinister, toxic, just bottom of the barrel kind of stuff. It, it, it it is dirty. It's vulgar. It's downright hard to watch at some points, but like hard to watch in a good way. It is amazing. And it does not hold back at all. This show is a must watch for anyone, anyone that enjoyed something like Invincible or that enjoyed anything like Blade, right? Those really are Deadpool, R-rated superhero movies or shows. Like it's the epitome. This is the golden standard for a universe that can be created outside of Marvel and DC and actually like if they built a universe around the boys, which is the plan,
I've
they
heard that.
could rival Marvel and DC with all these original awesome ideas. And I would absolutely be all for it. So, with that being said, how many people here have watched The Boys?
I mainly know of it through pop culture, people talking about it. If anything, that's just me. It's not that I'm not into it. It's more of what do I find appealing for me to want to watch it, if anything, because if it is something that is a part of a certain universe that I'm not familiar with, of course I'm going to be going into it blind regardless. So when I don't know anything about something, like with Marvel, with movies that come out, it's one of those, you kind of have an idea, but with The Boys, I don't know.
Well, that's not a bad thing. The Boys, I honestly, I recommend that you don't do any research into it and go in and watch it. Because we're still only 3 seasons in.
Okay.
And they're planning multiple spin-off shows to create this universe. So the time to get in is now. And I promise you won't be let down. The first 3 seasons are non-stop action, fun, comedy, sick ass, like disgusting moments that like will make your jaw drop. Like it is the most. It's basically the premise is the premise is what if superheroes were created and they were more like celebrities and owned by a corporation.
That's interesting.
But also did hero stuff on the side. But in reality, they're all a PR thing. Like soups are just a PR thing. Yeah, they do like save people and do the hero thing, but it doesn't always go the way that they want it to. So it's an amazing series. I would love to in the chat let us know what do you think of The Boys. Give it a score of 1 from 1 to 10, and let me know what you think.
Ty, as the massive Boys fan that you are, have you ever read any of the original comic books?
Yes.
Now there's a company out there, and I just wanted to mention this. There's a company out there called Graphic Audio that has been doing audio drama versions of the actual comic books themselves, and they're fully dramatized and acted with music and everything. It's fantastic for anybody out there that hasn't read the comics and wants to know more about, the lore and stuff and get some ideas of where they might be going with the TV show. Definitely. Would you guys?
I have a project that I want to start working on, and I want to start recruiting people. I don't want to do motion comics or anything like that, but I just want to get like 5 to 7 people, a couple girls, a couple guys, and then 2 or 3 other people. Whatever. Those can be, but I want to start not animate, like I said, not animating the books, but like you know how like DC Universe or like comic book apps, you can you can make the page turn, and then you can make the page turn, and then you can go block by block.
Yeah.
I wanna narrate them in voices,
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
yeah, and then so for people who can't, sit down and read books, like they'd be like there's an illustration, right? The book is on the screen, and then like the page would turn, and we would
Yeah.
narrate each block, right? Each person we'd go through, we'd find out what characters in it, assign characters, and then each person would record their lines, and we'd put it together, and it could be a good way for people who don't get to have a comic book shop or can't afford it to be
Yeah.
able to actually hear these comic books and be able to experience them. So I'll be getting a group together. If anyone's interested, though, let me know.
That'd be cool.
Anyone who can do voices, multiple voices, those are people that I would love to get in. So
I know how to
yeah.
do voices.
Yeah. So all right, guys. Next topic is Miss Marvel. What do you guys think of this series so far? Honestly, I think it's a fucking hidden sleeper. It's so good.
I like it because it gives me a lot of, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but it gives me a lot of Scott Pilgrim vibes. And I do like it. I understand it's kind of like maybe kind of teeny boppish.
It's like Stargirl. It's geared towards a younger audience.
Yeah, but it's still enjoyable. I like it so far. I'm not too upset about the change in powers. I think that it's an interesting change. I kind of understand why they changed it to the way it is, kind of like a Green Lantern style. I think we talked about this before, how the budget probably allowed them not to. Yeah.
Her powers are going to change by the end of the show. So her powers are fluid. They're going to be. This is not the final form of her power.
So she's only Super Saiyan level 1 right now.
I consider it an underrated type of show, as in because the way it was marketed, just from my perspective, was that it didn't look like it was going to be one of the best. And when they make you think that and you actually watch it, you're like, wow, that was actually really, good, because like
the first 2 episodes have like 95 to 97%.
Exactly. And I've been hearing good things, not just from like, say, popular people, but even people that are not necessarily big names in the industry. They're just saying that this is actually a really good show. I feel like they underrated it for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past it, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Has anyone read any of the Miss Marvel comics?
Not the comics, no.
Okay, so the comic book story, or at least the origin, is that Kamala is an Inhuman, and the Terrigen Mist is what unlocks her powers. Now, obviously, in Doctor Strange, we did see Black Bolt back. It was a different Black Bolt, though, obviously, than the one from Inhumans, that god-awful ABC or whatever it was series that was supposed to be a movie, and then, it was a travesty. But also, the Inhumans were featured in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that whole storyline's been done, and like, I think most people assume that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because Coulson's in it, even though Marvel went out and said it's not the MCU, people still just associate it with it because it's Coulson, like the general audience. Because he was in Avengers and every other movie before it, pretty much, they just assume that it's part of the MCU. So that Inhuman storyline has been done. And like the whole Terrigen thing's been done. So I think they didn't want to rehash that, but I think that they're going cosmic, and I think that I think the grandmother was a Kree. Yeah.
Do you mind if I
you
bring up
lost me.
Morbius?
What does that have to do with Miss Marvel?
Well, the fact that the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, the way it flopped up the box office and then they tried to re-release it and it flopped again, I ended up buying it when it came out. So when I watched it, I'm like thinking, why did it did so poorly? Because I know when it was mentioned in the trailers and stuff, there was a lot of Spider-Man stuff. And Spider-Man does go with Disney's MCU as well as the Sony universe. So with Miss Marvel, the whole concept of connection, basically.
I just got the weirdest DM.
DM.
Yeah.
From Instagram?
No, Saggy, what is that?
I told you, dude. I was like, I got it too.
I didn't
How
get
did Will
anything.
Smith finally get you back?
Uh-huh. Oh my god, I love that reference. That was so funny.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wait.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
That would always. Why do I keep getting booted from my own stream? Is the Illuminati watching or something right now?
You can't make this shit up.
Doomcock, thank you.
Wow. I was gonna say something about the Illuminati, but I think I won't.
No, go ahead.
He's like, I'm gonna shut up now.
No, it's okay. 'Cause, yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything that'll comprehend what I'm gonna do or say.
Is there anyone right now that is not liking Ms. Marvel?
I think Miss Marvel's a very cute and underrated show, to be honest.
I agree with that.
Stargirl. Like Stargirl was honestly one of the best shows of last year. And I know that wasn't saying much, but Ms. Marvel, as far as DC content, it was probably the best show of last year. As in terms of DC TV. In my mind, I think it delivered a really fun story that was dark in ways, but it was definitely geared towards a younger audience. And that's not always a bad thing, right? It just means that there's not going to be dark, like there's not going to be like blood spewing everywhere. And you rarely get that from a superhero show anyway. So aside from The Boys, of course. But Ms. Marvel is, it's been really fun. Guys, do you think the mother is I think she has some sort of super speed.
She's definitely a metahuman of some sort.
Yeah, because the first hint was when she packed all that shit really quick for what's his name? The friend. The guy who gives them he's their like their buddy. Kamala's best friend. What's his name?
Oh, I can't even think of it right now.
What's his name, guys?
Yeah, I forget his name. But
He's not that unforgettable.
I know who you're talking about, though.
Okay. Regardless, hopefully someone in the chat can help us out there. But he comes in and the mom's like, "Oh, I'll pack you some food." He's like, "Oh, no," and she's like, "Oh, it'll just take a second." She goes into the kitchen, comes back out with 5 things of food packed within like 30, not even 30 seconds, right? And he's like, "How did you do that?" And she's like, "Oh, you have your secrets with your technology stuff, and I have mine." And like that was my clue number 1. Then the way she wanted the Bengal gone immediately. Number 3, when the dad is telling the story about how the train thing happened, you can see it in her eyes when she talks about the nanny, their grandmother or her mother, Kamala's grandmother, the mother's mother. When they're talking about that, and like, there's a reason they're showing us the mother's face like she's hearing him tell the story, and she's like visibly getting emotional about it. And I think something happened there. And then not only that, the visions Kamala is seeing is you can hear trains in the background. So, like, go look. Don't believe me? Go watch those scenes again. Slow them down and listen. You'll hear the trains in both times. The first time Kamala fainted at dinner, and the second time when she dropped the kid in the second episode. Something comes through the portal, and you can hear trains in both of the scenarios, which would lead back to the train that they're talking about in the story at dinner. So something happened there, and that's why the mother doesn't want Kamala involved in this shit. So that's my theory.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Why not, right? Like that makes perfect sense.
Total metahuman. Totally
a metahuman or an inhuman. Maybe they'll by the end of it, maybe, because we now know
she'll be one of the X-Men.
Well, we now know. No, we now know.
X people.
Yeah. Oh my God.
X people.
Yeah, X people.
No. Is it happening?
No, I don't think so.
Oh God, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? X people.
Oh my God, it might.
I don't think the mother is a superhuman. I think that the person
power
that they are
comes from within them. I
think it gets passed down because if you recall,
who would pass it down to her? Her mother.
No, no, not her mother, because the mother literally saw so the grandmother had the trinkets. And they said that belonged to the person that they won't talk about because they shamed the family somehow. And I think they shamed the family because they were superhuman and they couldn't understand it. I don't think the mother is superhuman. I think the mother knows of the person, and because the mother agreed that the person who had that bracelet before shamed the family. I don't think the mother had anything to do with it. I think it's the great grandmother or whoever the relative is that was responsible. And I think that's also the woman we keep seeing when we get those scenes when the power kicks in and then Kamala sees a woman. I think that's her ancestor. That's trying to reach out to her, but I don't think the mother is superhero powered at all. I think the mother just knows what that bracelet does and what it has done to quote shame their family. So I don't think the mother's superpower. I think she's trying to protect her Kamala from going down that path.
Yeah, but I think, why would she protect her daughter if she didn't have a bad experience herself? With her mother, her mother might have tried to get her to embrace those powers.
And she turned it down. That's what I think too. That is what I think as well.
So she is superhuman, but she denounced it, right? After the partition, she denounced it. She was like, no more. I can't do it anymore. Then she moved halfway across the world because of the shame, because maybe they had to do some dirty things, or maybe the curse, because remember the Illuminatis are talking. Maybe she had, because they say, oh, I heard she killed someone. Oh, I heard she had a different family. She could be talking about the Inhuman family, or the Kree family that she has. And also, she could be talking about the curse. The curse that they talk about could be the sorcerer, because people, again, what they don't understand, right? It scares them. A curse could have been mistaken for those powers. Like those powers back then, like if someone was producing light from their hands, that would be considered a curse, right? Like something bad. So, it could all be going full circle. I think something. I hope that we get to find out what happened during the partition.
And that's interesting.
Do you guys know what the partition is? So it's when,
it didn't sound like a good thing.
No. So the partition is basically when Pakistan and one or two other countries seceded from India and became their own countries, right? Or something like that. And it was like there were so many people left stranded and starving, and lots of people died. It was it, you know, it was mass displacement, right? And like it was people, when they get scared, bad things happen, right? So imagine 2 million people or whatever it was, all trying to get on transit out, right? Like, or get on, get out of the country. Like, people do dirty things. Like, it was a dangerous displacement. So, it's a very, 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 Britain was part of the reason for the partition. Yes. So, yeah, it was crazy. But that's why I also like that they're bringing that stuff into it, though. Like, they're using that culture and the history of that culture to kind of tell this story, which is fantastic. I think this show is, even though it's geared towards a younger audience, I think the show is doing a really good job of telling the story of Kamala Khan.
Yes,
I do. I like it.
The actress is awesome too.
Well, she was a fan. She was a fan.
And you could tell she was a fan.
Yeah, if you watch, because Disney Plus has like a little behind the scenes where she talks about how much she loved the comics and that she was happy to find a character that represented her, and she was very happy that she auditioned and that she got the part, and even everyone was saying like, dude, she is this character. So it's really interesting to see.
Then there were other people that were like, she's not, like, because apparently she's Catholic or something.
Oh, who cares though? It's still a character that represents her.
No, I know.
Her
I know. I'm just saying. There were people that actually fucking. It's because, like, we live in this society. I need that drop. I need that drop. We live in a society where if it's not one thing, it's the other, right?
She was criticized for not really being Muslim, right? Isn't that what it was?
She's Christian.
Right.
She's Christian, not Muslim, but it is our heritage. Like that's that's her
part
ancestry.
of our history.
Yeah, part of her history. And and then the whole production team are mostly made up of Muslim workers. The directors being part of that. So I think this show has done a good job. And I think that's what Marvel does well, is like for Black Panther, they made sure that they had anyone, that identified, in of that particular region, like they wanted them involved. Like they didn't want to have a white director for that film. Like they make it all through and through a very, very symbolic way of storytelling, right? It's not a white guy telling a story about a culture that, he doesn't know about. Not saying that they couldn't. It's just I like the way that Marvel.
Well, it's kind of like Steven Spielberg with the new version of West Side Story, where he purposely went out and tried to cast Latinx people so that he could have
Latina-esque,
so that he could properly represent that culture in West Side Story. So
do you know what I was excited to see in Miss Marvel? And this is like the video game nerd in me. One of the aunties is played by a voice actress who does a lot of voices in video games. She did the voice of Symmetra in Overwatch, and she currently does the voice of Rampart in Apex Legends. She's a very well-known Indian woman in the video game industry. And I was excited actually to see her in live action in this show, and I recognized her voice immediately, and I was like, oh my god, they really got her. So it was actually cool that they really did go out to find actors, whether it was a voice actor or whatever, that represented what they needed for the show. So that's why I was like, the little fangirl in me of the video game culture. It's like, oh my god, I know who that is. I know her voice. That's Symmetra in Overwatch. That's Rampart in Apex Legends. I got so excited seeing her actually act in live action as opposed to just doing a voice of a character that represents her. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know if you guys know this, but Obi-Wan, what they did was there are multiple cameos in Obi-Wan from Star Wars influencers. Multiple cameos.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I can't remember who they are, but there's 2, I believe, that got the cameo. So bringing the fans and like the when I say influencer, like, content creators and stuff like that, like well-known Star Wars content creators, not the ones that were, not the bad ones, like Geeks and Gamers and all those, idiots. Yeah, not those guys, but actually good influencers in the Star Wars community got to make appearances, and I think that will become a thing relatively soon. Is including the people that like are consistent, because the good thing about let's play devil's advocate here and just say this, like, say Zack Snyder never does another DC project, right? And of course, I want him to so badly. Like
A lot would.
I need his 5-story arc told, and I want more than that 5-story arc from Zack. But there's this thing where ever since the relationship with Zack and his fans, people now that go out of their way to learn everything they can about the director of their favorite movie, right? Like, there's been a change in moviegoer and studio. People want to know who's working on these movies, and they want to connect with them, whether it's for a podcast or a YouTube show, whatever. They want that. So I think the relationships, because all of us, every single person in this panel right now does, talks about movies and hypes up the things that we love.
No, talk about cocaine.
Right. But we hype up the things that we love, and we, talk crap, or not talk crap, but we honestly talk about things that we don't like as well, right? Like, we do a lot, maybe not
Things that affect or don't affect the industry, yeah.
right. We're out here all the time talking about these things and giving people content to hold them over till the next movie comes, right? So, like, that's who we are, right? We are those people. We hold people over until they can see their next favorite movie, because we'll talk about it. And we'll get them talking about theories, and like, that's what interests them. That's this whole thing is, and it's really fun, and I really appreciate you all coming tonight.
Yeah, no, thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
Great
Thanks for
to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
So, final thoughts, guys. This week's been rough for a lot of different reasons, but what do you guys think overall? In the near future, do you think that the DC brand right now is in trouble with the whole Amber Heard stuff, and now the whole Ezra Miller thing? Take opinions out of it, and what do you think is going to go on? What do you think is going to go happen going forward? And then give us your social media, and we'll move on to the next.
Well, me personally, okay, I don't think anything's going to be wrong with the DC universe. It's just the crap that's going on with Amber Heard and Ezra Miller is that their personal lives got caught up with them in their famous atmosphere, basically. And Ezra's trying to balance it out, but at the same time he's doing it in the wrong way. And Amber, she's trying to paint Johnny Depp in this really bad light, but yet everybody kind of knew him as a good guy. Even the people that he worked with, like she's the only one to complain, basically. So it doesn't look good on either person right now. But when it comes to DC property, you can always do something better. It doesn't matter who's going to do it. You can always do something better. Like people who wanted to replace Amber Heard's character with, I forget her name, but she was the Game of Thrones wife of Jason Momoa.
Amelia Clark.
Yeah, her. They want her to be, Amber Heard's character. And I'm like, I could be okay with that. It's not going to really get on my nerves that much, because I know how to separate the artist from personal issues, so to speak.
Yeah, and let's not lie, right? Let's not get it twisted. Recasting has been something that's happened many a times.
Oh yeah.
Look at Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard.
That's right.
Look at Edward Norton and Bruce Banner.
Mark Ruffalo.
Right. Those were major recastings.
Oh yeah.
And of course they it sucked, but we got used to it. It's our job to look past that.
Also, Emily Clark would have been, I think, the main reason why they wanted her to play Mira is because she already had a romantic role with Jason Momoa in Game of Thrones, so it would make sense to have her cast because they already have good chemistry.
They have great chemistry.
Oh my God.
Yes.
People would
They're good
flock.
friends.
Yo, people would flock to the theater just to see Daenerys and Khal Drogo back together.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Right.
The memes would be amazing. Amazing.
So that would be a case in which recasting for the better. 100%.
Yeah.
That would be a situation where not only would you fix the chemistry between Aquaman and Mira, but you would essentially elevate Mira to a whole nother level, and you would probably bring in legions of fans as a result.
And the fact he gets along with her.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're very good friends, but the only thing is Amelia is doing secret invasion right now, and we don't know what her role is going to be going forward, whether she'll show up more. So she might be, with Marvel for a while. And
but isn't it allegedly though that Mira's role is relatively small in Aquaman? So if they did bring in,
the thing is, I don't think that Mera is going to. This is my opinion. I don't think that Mera will be recast. The same thing for the Ezra. I don't.
Okay. You just think it'll be just moving forward.
Yeah, it'd be moving forward.
Well, aren't they removing Amber Heard's role entirely from the film?
No, that is a very,
lot
very
of
false
conflicting
statement.
There are reports
conflicting reports, but I do have someone that, it's an early relationship between him and I, but he has let me know that the test screenings for the latest test screenings, Warner Brothers is showing this film because they were already doing test screenings. This is when you do them, right? This is this is when you do them. You do them before, and you keep them going with each cut of the film to see how people react, and what the likability are. What did you? All those things. So the test screenings, are still happening, and the latest one still had Mera in the beginning and the end, so beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, and it was a total of about approximately 23 and a half to 24.4 minutes total.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I heard 22 minutes. They cut her entire screen time to 22 minutes.
Yeah, well, again, it's in that ballpark.
I mean, so my thoughts on everything is I think cutting Amber Heard or recasting Amber Heard's character is not that hard to do as opposed to recasting Ezra, because Ezra is supposed to be the Flash in the movies, and moving forward, I feel like they had the plan to have Ezra be Flash for a
For a
while.
long time.
Right. So I
Like
think
Saggy, let's not get it twisted. Ezra was Ezra. I listen. I am not afraid to say this. I enjoy thoroughly. Like I love one of the tweets I had right after I saw the Snyder Cut. Because we got to see it a little bit early. Right, one of my first things I said was number one was the lack
They didn't
of
make him look like a pussy.
no, no, but it was for Cyborg, and how he was how Ray Fisher was the heart of that story, and then
That's true.
Second was the Ezra Miller, the way that he seemed in the regular cut, the trash cut. He was like a bumbling fool, but he had already been seen in the DC universe as someone who was maybe a little bit arrogant in his ways, but he was confident. And then all of a sudden in Justice League, he was a bumbling idiot. The Snyder Cut just absolutely changed that, and like the relationship between Vic
definitely.
and Barry was so amazing. I love Ezra Miller as Credence and as Barry Allen, and this is like actually hurting me because, and I know that like that's the problem, right? Is putting your emotions into it, but like honestly, I want to believe that none of this is true, but the facts are not clear yet, and the allegations are there. So, like you have, as a journalist, it's my job to not pick a side.
As a drama YouTuber, it is my job to pick a side, and I stand with Ezra Miller.
All right. Yeah.
It's just funny because the same thing, with like Johnny Depp being basically removed from Disney to being Captain Jack Sparrow ever again. It's one of those like, well, you guys had a plan to keep him in Fantastic Beasts, which is Warner Brothers, of course, but they had sided with Heard, and yet they didn't really give it a chance to basically come to the right conclusion that it was wrong to just let him go, because you could do the same thing with Amber Heard or Ezra Miller. You really can. And they don't want to because of money, of course. You have to spend money to remake those shoots. I get that, but sometimes it's worth it.
I just want to say, side note real quick, Marvel UK posted on Instagram, happy #Father's Day to all these superhero dads. And one of the images they showed was freaking Thanos.
What?
Oh, he's a good father.
He threw his father off a cliff.
Happens all
parenting done right.
That was funny. That was funny.
She just needed to learn a lesson.
They have to be trolling. That was insane. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, Thanos?
You know where the woke community is going to go with that? Oh my God, they're Marvel. You're promoting, domestic abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. He was pretty abusive, and I don't know. He killed his daughter, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it is clearly just a joke, I hope.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, we can't comedy's comedy, guys. Like we need to chill. We need to chill the fuck out. It's okay to joke about shit, but it's not okay to discriminate and that kind of thing.
Don't be a dick about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna tag you guys in it so you can see the tweet, because I couldn't believe that. I was like, bro, Thanos, Father's Day? Okay, bet.
Thanos was Father of the Year when Endgame came out.
Right. All right, guys. Go around. I haven't gotten final thoughts from Saggy or MSK Simp. Who is that?
Oh yeah.
Is that Cole?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole time you've been quiet.
Maybe.
I thought that
your
thought that was
picture
MSK's
is
alt account.
MSK.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
I thought MSK was like on mobile and then came on his computer and just never left on mobile. So I just assumed that was MSK the whole freaking time.
I mean, I've been talking the whole time, just in and out.
Oh, I knew.
I couldn't tell. I was confused.
I knew like you weren't MSK, but we haven't done enough streams together where I knew it was Cole, because I know
love
Cole.
how you had to put my name in like all caps.
I thought it was
Just to make
MSK
sure.
this whole time. I thought MSK came on the PC and just never left StreamYard with the
What kind of fucking picture is this?
Oh my god, it's cursed. That's what it is. It's fucking cursed. It's a cursed picture of MSK. That's great. I got bamboozled, guys. Yes, congratulations. Hey, it's Zod Rider.
All right, Saggy, give me your final thoughts and plugs.
My final thought is,
and then say, plugs including Springfield Comic Con.
Yeah. So my final thought is I want people to like stop just jumping on the negative and assuming that someone's guilty. I say wait till all the evidence is out there before we start canceling people. I do feel in my heart and from what I've seen that Ezra is actually innocent. I've gotten a lot of heat for that, but I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and assume the worst. Also, you can find me at Saggy Melons on Twitter, Saggy Melons _ on Instagram, and my YouTube channel where I talk drama 90% of the time. Saggy Melons on the YouTubes. And don't forget to come see Ty and I in July 23rd at Springfield Comic Con. We will be there, and Ty just kicks himself out of the stream. I don't know why he does that, but he's back. So yes, make sure you come check us out. Hopefully he won't do that in real time, in real life. Okay, now we lost it. Okay, everybody's gone. What happened?
Well, it's supposed to just be you and me, and I added everyone. But no. So yes, Saggy and myself, July 23rd, Saturday from 10 to 4. So basically, this is the plan. We're gonna be doing a breakfast meetup, right? No, not a breakfast meetup. No. No.
I would say dinner because it's till 4.
Yeah. So post con meetup. And then basically what we're going to do is Saggy and I are working on banners. And it's going to, so that, and then a cardboard cutout of my logo. And I don't know if Saggy's going to do one of hers, but my logo will be there. And then the banner will go across. And then I have a schedule that's going to be posted at the front of the table. Obviously, the podcast equipment will be set up, and a projector will be set up, and then we're going to be playing any of the guests that come on. You'll be able to see them on the projector, and then you'll be able to see us, doing the show live at the table. We'll also be doing spotlights, going around and interviewing cosplayers. That stuff will not be, it's going to be about a week after the convention where all of this gets, debuted because it's going to take a long time to edit. But if you can go, the link is in the description below. Get your tickets. They're, pretty cheap upon entrance. But then, how cons are, the money is really in vendors and all that. So come join us, and it's going to be so fun. And then, finish. Saggy, just do your socials one more time because I butted in.
No worries. At Saggy Melons on Twitter, Saggy Melons _ on Instagram, and then Saggy Melons with the Z on YouTube. There you go. Yay.
So now it's Cole's turn.
Final thoughts on like the Ezra Miller situation, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, my opinion is that, there's definitely a lot of biases here. Just let's wait till everything comes out, as Saggy said. And even if he's, like, innocent with everything, though, I do think, like, he made a lot of poor choices, and he should probably, like, get some like advice from people in the future of how to handle things and maybe go to rehab for certain things. And I do think it might be time just to move on like both sides. I think it would just be for the best for reasons. And I think the only reason why that hasn't been the case is because of he's in multiple big projects. So it's a lot harder to do, and he's
I
probably
agree.
like a cheaper option than others. But yeah, now for stuff to promote, I don't really I mean I do have like a YouTube channel and stuff, but I don't do anything on it yet. You'll just
Okay.
see me on other people's streams till then.
Well, you're always welcome here, my friend.
Yep,
Always.
thanks.
Always. All right. All right, Charlie Rage up next. Don't do any final thoughts. You already did that. Just do the plugs.
Well, I mean, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube under Charlie Cinematic Universe. I mainly do physical copies of reviews and stuff like that because I'm a physical media collector. So if you guys want to follow me for physical media news at all, just Charlie Cinematic Universe.
And then he's always on the panels here. And
Yep.
we'll be incorporating a physical media show here as well with Charlie. And it's going to be really fun.
Just trying to figure out how to do it right. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All right. Last but not least, Zod Writer.
Hey, first I just want to say thanks again, Ty, for having me on. It's a pleasure.
We're breaking barriers, my friend.
I'm telling you, it's awesome. And
the barrier between
the barrier between combating hate and becoming friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I'm reserving judgment on the Ezra Miller thing. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. Again, I agree with all of your points. I think that, just jumping to random conclusions about a person is not really a good situation. And it's all very murky right now. So until we know the details, I think it's best to just wait this one out with Ezra. So, and also you can find me on my YouTube channel at Zod Writer and on Twitter at Zod Writer. And Ty, you and I will be doing a late night Q&A this Wednesday night where we will be talking about simulation theory. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh my God. I am so fucking excited.
Hey, I would love to be a part of that conversation.
Awesome. Hit me up on Twitter. I
don't see why not, right? It would just I think Zod and I, what we'll do is, or it's Zod's channel, but maybe we could do because in order to go on Zod's channel, I am going to have to make like an announcement to his chat where basically to not have them hate me off the bat, because his audience, I've been in his comment, his chat multiple times, and there's a few people that don't like me. So just
that's okay. There's people that
That's
don't
their
like me all
problem.
over the internet. I don't let it bother me anymore.
Yeah.
And the way
but I just want to let them know that tonight.
Especially with you,
I want to talk. I want to start it off with our little Q&A.
Oh yeah, we'll
into the.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll of course address that, but it's not to me. I
Let
don't
them
feel
talk
like it's
their
a big deal.
smack. They're just going to make themselves look like idiots, and you don't even have to display it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. As always, guys, you can find me. No, I'm not going to do all that stuff. Make sure to smash that like button, share the show across social media, and thank you for some of the super chats today. Definitely, all the content creators here can let you know monetization is cool, but super chats is actually, super chats and memberships is all all I really care about, because it allows for like a special engagement between creator and audience member. And we have all the specials and the interviews that I do go out to the members first. And then super chats, I always thank and that kind of stuff. So that stuff definitely helps the channel so that I can keep creating, and making the show better. We have so much in store in the works as far as branching off and making, some really, really, really interactive and cool content. So I can't wait for the future. I really can't. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And we'll be doing more live streams, of course. I took I was doing pre-recorded stuff for the past couple weeks because I've been playing around with the camera and I really love it. So this has been really fun. Obviously, happy Father's Day. Episode 77 of the podcast will be rescheduled till next Sunday. I wanted to give Freddie the night off to spend with his family. So I got to have this cool conversation, and I actually had so much fun. So it's that can't happen without the audience. You guys are the reserve panel member. So till next time, I love you, and we'll see you. I don't know. Next time, I guess. I don't know when next time's gonna be. Guys, when's next time?
I can do Sundays because it's possible that my friends and I might have kind of closed the chapter on our live stream that we usually do called Cult of Collectors, which is the physical media, news basically, and talking about how we feel of what's coming out or what we're excited about. And it looks like it's coming to an end. So that's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, you're always welcome on live streams here. So we'll figure something out. Most likely, because it's Sunday, most likely I'll be doing tomorrow night. So I will see you then, and then we'll figure out the rest of the week. All right, guys. Love you. Stay safe.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.